Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm finally starting my destash series. So I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I think, in my more polishes I regret buying video, where I really wanted to start a proper kind of destash series on my channel to just minimize my collection a little bit, because I have destashed before, but I feel like the method that I was using, where I was just kind of going drawer by drawer and pulling out some polishes here and there, wasn't really working for me, because more often than not, I just was justifying, keeping everything. And the reason that I keep the majority of them are for the sake of comparisons, which is great. Like, I love doing them and sharing them on my channel for all of you guys, but it just is not sustainable for me and my space. So I figured the best way to go about destashing is going by color order. So this video, I am pulling out every single red polish in my collection to first of all, just see how many reds that I have, sort through them, see which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to get rid of. So as you can see, this is already a really long video, so I will chat a little bit more at the end. For now, let's just get destashing. Okay, so here we are at my desk. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show like my whole desk. There's still like this much, off to the side. I am going to be pretty limited with what I can share just because my tripod situation is not the best. But yeah, let me, I guess, maybe do like a little time lapse of getting the red polishes onto the workspace. Okay, so hopefully that was satisfying. We'll see. But yeah, so here are the bulk of, well, these are all my reds like on my desk. Here, just to like zoom out a little bit or like, move the camera. Everything that you see on camera is like all of my reds. There are a few shades, that I was a little bit confused by, which like you might have seen, like me holding the polish to the camera, because I'm like, is this red? Is it berry? So now that is my next task, because I initially was a little worried, right, about, getting this process started, because I was like, I don't know how many reds I actually have. What if I'm gonna need to split it in 2 videos? But I think I should be able to manage, doing them all in one video. So now I'm going to just go ahead and like split them into like, true reds, maybe like red oranges, then maybe pinky reds, and then like the darker vampy ones. I feel like those are the 4 main kind of reds that I have. So as far as true reds, like up here, I don't know what to do with like certain specialty finish ones. Like, is this a true red or is it more red orange, because of the gold shimmer? So I guess I'll just keep it on the red orange side for now. This can be like pinky reds. I probably should just like stick to one one thing first, right? Like, okay, the true reds, let me move those. I don't mind keeping the finishes mixed for right now. Would you call this a true red or a vampy red? Because I feel like it's pretty bright. When I think of a vampy red, I think of like Hollow Taco's Devil's Advocate. It's like a super dark shade. So I will put that in there. Not as bad as I thought, but what I did notice, what I did notice when going through my collection and, pulling out the reds, it's not reds that I should be worried about. It's the pinks, which, I mean, to be fair, I definitely was expecting that to happen. I'm gonna try to go in rainbow order, right? So, I won't get to pink for a while now, which is good news, because I don't want to have to confront the sheer amount of pinks in my collection. It's just a lot. Also, I'm sorry that I know that there's like some stuff kind of off frame, but I'm just trying to group them now, and then I will move things into frame. I might speed this part up now because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Okay, so I have Whiskey Sunrise here, which, you know, I took out because I'm like, oh, it's like a red multi-chrome, but I feel like it leans a little bit more orangey. I don't know. I mean, in certain angles, it's kind of red. I'll just put it with the red oranges. I think with Lord Vader here, it was kind of hard to tell because it like looks so, you know, rose gold. But once you magnetize it, it's a pretty like true red, I think. So yeah, we'll keep that there. And see, there's definitely a couple of shades here that I have like more towards the bottom where I'm like, I think this is red. It's like one of those berry colors, but I think it leans more red than some of the other berry shades that I have. But it's also like kind of pushing it. It's a little hard to tell. But okay, so I pretty much have them like in their groups. It's like, you know, a little messy. Yeah, let me move these over here. So I have the least amount of these like kind of red, orange, pinky reds. I mean, honestly, I feel like looking at this, it just like looks, I think this is hot pink. This is OPI's My Chihuahua Bites. I think I would call this a hot pink, so I'm actually gonna remove it. And I think I'm gonna remove this one too. LA Colors Wildflowers. Like they definitely have very like strong red undertones, but I don't know. I think they're more pink. So let me put these to the side. And yeah, so I guess starting with these, right? The first two, sorry, I have like oil. I just oiled my fingers beforehand. So I have Hollow Taco's Jam Session and Encryption Key, which, you know, is a very like tomato red, like it's very orange leaning. And Encryption Key is kind of like that, maybe a little bit more on the coral side. We have Mooncat's Whiskey Sunrise, Sinful Colors Rorange. I really like this one. I think it's picking up a little bit more orangey on camera, but it's kind of like this beautiful like brick red with a little bit of like a brownish orange undertone. And then I have a couple of Cirques. The two sparkly ones are Velvet Rope and My, which yes, are very, very similar. I think I did do a comparison though when I first swatched this one. And then these two are Game Over, which is the neon from Vice last year? No. Road Rage. Oh, where's Road Rage? Hold on. Okay, so here is Road Rage. And this is definitely a little bit more of like a pink red. It's definitely hard to see on camera because they are neons. But yeah, this is definitely more red. So put Road Rage back. And then the nail polish here is You Make My Heart Melt. So starting with this group, just to get it out of the way, I will definitely be destashing this one. I think it's cute. I love the cap. I love a little snow cone, but I just don't love this color. You know, this kind of like tomato-ish shade. And it's a shame because it's pretty, you know, it's very sparkly. I love the shimmer. There's also hollow in here, but it is just, you know, one of those that's not for me. Oh, I don't remember if I mentioned it. The other Cirque that I had Game Over and then Poppy Jelly. These two are easy keeps. These two, they're so similar. Velvet Rope and My. I think I would say that My is like a little bit darker in the base color. And it's more of a shimmer graphic. There's like a lot more of the hollow sparkle. Hopefully you can see like the little, you know, specks and all that. If I had to choose between the two, I would rather choose My. Then I definitely do want to keep the Sinful Colors and Whiskey Sunrise. And between these two, honestly, I don't even think I've ever worn Encryption Key. Did this retire? I think it did, right? Like last year for 2024. That's when I picked it up, or maybe I picked it up before then, but I still, either way, whenever I picked it up, I just never wore it. And it's a shame because it looks super pretty. So between these two, I do like Encryption Key more. So I will keep it for now. I will give myself a chance to put it on because I do think it's really pretty. It's one of those shades that, you know, I always wanted, but then like I ended up like just buying it because it was gonna be retired, you know? But I've seen mixed things about the formulas, you know, just being like thinner, like they're more sheer. And so I don't know, but I need to try it before I decide, right, how I feel about it. Jam session, it pains me because, you know, I want to like it, but I feel like it's in a way sort of, but not really, similar to the nail polish shade of just like this sort of particular red orange that I just don't love on me. So I will also put that in my little destash pile. So let me move these out of the way. I'll worry about putting those back later in their rightful places. But okay, so now I have the berry kind of shades. Also, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but this is my robe. I stretched it out over my desk because, as I'm sure so many of you know, my desk is glass. And I know a lot of people, you know, kind of like that sound, but it is a lot with this many bottles on a glass desk. It's a lot of that sound. So I didn't want it to be, you know, harsh or overwhelming. So yeah, let's kind of push this to the side a little bit to give us some more room here. I don't even know how to go about organizing these because it's just kind of hard to, because from this this overhead view, it's like, yeah, they kind of all look the same, you know, but they're not. So I guess maybe I can start with like creams and, you know, non-specialty finishes. So all the shimmery ones can go on one side. Oops. The non-shimmery ones I have for now on the left here. I definitely have, at least I think I have more shimmers. See, oh, this is another one that I remember pulling out and questioning. This is Current from Olive Ave. It's another one of those like berry kind of colors, but I think it leans a little bit more red than purple. I don't know, it's hard to tell. There's just so much nuance with color, and I know a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, that's like, you know, similar enough, it's a dupe, whatever. I get it, right? I mean, it's definitely better to view it that way because then you can just easily, you know, convince yourself that they're not the same. But for me personally, I can see the difference in a lot of the colors, and that's what makes it so hard because it's just, you know, even easier to justify keeping things. So okay, now that we have the creams here, let me see if I can even like move this a little bit more out of the way. But I want to see if I can like put the really like dark blood red shades here, and then here are like the berry sort of colors. Oh, here's another one that I almost missed. And oh, here's another one. Sitting on this little group here in the center, right? I am kind of surprised that I don't have more, especially of these like darker reds, but I think it's because like I had already taken out a decent amount of polishes for my collection that, you know, I have like either already destashed, but they're just, you know, they're not in my Helmers anymore. So for these, the darkest one that I have is Wicked, which I feel like I have to keep, you know, it's like one of those like iconic shades that, oh my gosh, it pains me. I mean, I do love wearing this in the fall, but there's definitely still like a lot of other shades that I would wear too. I guess I can get rid of the Deborah Lippmann because I already had the Essie Gel Couture, what is it called? Spiked Spiked with Style, and this is Deborah Lippmann Single Ladies. I feel like these two are pretty similar, at least in the bottle. I know I could kind of like swatch them really quick, you know, on my nails to see the differences, but I kind of don't want to do that because I feel like, again, being able to see the difference on the nail, it'll just make it easier to be like, oh, but they're different and I need to keep both, or I should keep both. So I have used this one more, so I would rather keep this one and try to destash, like, you know, a newer bottle. So I'm keeping those two. And then with Holo Taco Holo Taco's Devil's Advocate and Cracked Polishes Red, I remember these two being very, very similar. I'm torn on which one to keep. I remember saying that I preferred Cracked Polishes because even though it's like a very, very dark color, once you build it up in 2 coats, this Holo Taco, like, it kind of looks like Wicked. I know it doesn't really look like it in the bottle, but actually, maybe at this angle, it kind of does. So I would love to keep this, but between these two, I do prefer Cracked. So I will set the Holo Taco one aside. And then this is Essie's Bold and Bolder. It's kind of like a brick red with a brown undertone, kind of similar maybe to China Glaze's Modern Auburn. I love both of these. Oh, see, this is where it gets tricky. It gets so tricky because it's like these subtle nuances, and I just don't know. I don't know. So I guess when it comes to these types of reds, I mean, having 3 isn't bad, right? Because they're different enough where this is like a dark brick red that's still like predominantly red. Essie has a little bit of a brown undertone, and then Current is a little bit more of a purple undertone. Had to choose only 2, I would get rid of Current, but for now, I think I do want to keep all 3. This top one here is Cracked Polishes My Blood Aches, which, I mean, it's red, but it's like one of those red oranges, and it's also a jelly, but I'm pretty sure I would rather keep this one. Oh wait, I didn't even take out the one that this reminds me of, or, you know, is potentially similar to, is Sir Colors Rust Jelly, but I was like, oh, well, that's like more red orange. I feel like these are kind of similar though. But yeah, I like the color more in this one. It's like these types of, you know, red orange shades that I'm not the biggest fan of. So I will take out Rust Jelly, keep Cracked, and then with these 4, let me see, these 2 Zoyas, this is Lisa and Rochelle. I love these. I love these both. Like, they're just so pretty. Okay, I think Rochelle and We the Female are maybe more similar. We the Female looks a little bit more of like, I mean, I'm definitely gonna keep We the Female because love that. Oh, but I really love Rochelle too. I know for sure I do also want to keep the nail polys. So I feel like, unfortunately, I'm gonna keep all of these. Right? I mean, I guess maybe now that I look at it, maybe Lisa is more similar to We the Female, but it's like just a bit brighter, a little bit more of like a hotter pink undertone. So yeah, if I had to choose between these 2, I'm gonna keep We the Female. So we'll get rid of that. Okay, so now that I moved those out of the way, here are the dark vampy specialty finish polishes. Definitely prefer wearing these kinds of reds more. So this is gonna be really hard. Okay, let's start with Island P because it's my favorite brand. And I feel like it might be a little easier to sort through those first. Sorry, I should have had all the like labels facing the same way, but it's fine. Okay, so wait, I'm definitely missing one. Hold on. There's a few polishes that I forgot, including Island P's Carry and Holo Taco's Or Bite Me. So that's fine. So starting with the Island Peas, I have, let me move this up. I have Be Mine, which is a magnetic, which I think you could just, you know, see the fill line. This is like a bit of a raspberry red. I love this one. It's easy keep. Ruby, another easy favorite. Merlot. God, this is impossible. I'm keeping all of these. If anything, Poison is the only one that I considered getting rid of, but then I wouldn't really have like a dark red magnetic, so I want to keep this one. And then Carrie, which I think I picked up over Black Friday, and I don't think I've properly worn it yet, so you know, I feel like I'm conflicted, where a beautiful shade, but between, I mean, there's not, you know, dupes or anything. I think maybe the closest is Merlot, but this has like a little bit more of like a chromey shimmer going on. Definitely a different finish, but comparing it next to Sabrina, I feel like, yeah, Sabrina has a little bit more of an orange red. I feel like this is a little bit more vampy. Okay, I'll keep it for now. So yeah, okay, we're keeping the I we're not destashing those. And for these other kind of shimmery reds here, these two I would say are the most similar. Maybe I can include Hollow Taco's Misfire, but this is Painted Polish's Live Laugh Lava and Hollow Taco's Or Bite Me, which are, you know, just super dark, kind of brown leaning maroons, right? I love all of these. I'm going to keep all three. This is Nail Poly's I Love Every Bunt of You. Also another kind of brownish, like red velvet color. I think it's picking up a little bit more brown on camera than it is in real life, but it is just absolutely beautiful, so I'm going to keep that. Then these sort of like mid-toned, I feel like these are more like pinky berry reds. This is Sachet. This is a metallic. I'll put this in the destash pile. Okay, the easy keeps here I would say are Mooncat's Sin Eater, CX Polishes Spiked Cranberry. Sorry, I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, I feel like there was a polish that was supposed to be similar to this, but I was hoping Plum Luck, you know, that this would be a dupe for Plum Luck, but that one is like obviously more plummy purple. This is more of like a cranberry color, so I love that. Also definitely keeping Naughty List. Oh my god, Potion Polishes Arizona. This is technically like a purple a purple base. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Do you see that like inside the neck of the bottle? But it obviously has this very strong red shimmer, so I figured, you know, can keep it here. So that is an easy keep. I love this one. This is a Nails Ink polish called Haley. I haven't shared Nails Ink on my channel before. I've only shared them on Instagram because they, like, I kind of work with them where, you know, they commission me for content. But yeah, I haven't shared like a review of their polishes, but I do really like a lot of them. This one is so pretty. Let me see if it looks kind of similar at all to any of the Island P ones, because let me see, this is Ruby. I feel like this is much more, like a little bit more similar to like Sabrina, where it's just like so dark and vampy. I want to say it's almost an in-between of these two. It's almost like Carrie, actually. Okay. Okay, you know what? Fine. Because I know that I tried this and I love it, I will keep this one and I will put Carrie in my destash pile. I think I was like avoiding doing that because it's just like, oh, well, you know, I never wore it and I'm already destashing it. So it's just kind of like, not embarrassing, but just like, like, why did I buy it to begin with, you know? Anyway, these next three here, this is Nirvana's Unplugged in New York from Glisten and Glow, a previous polish pickup shade. This is kind of looking similar to Poison, but obviously Poison is a magnetic. This one, actually, I know you guys won't be able to see this. I'm just like testing, you know, like pulling the polishes away from the camera to see how they shift, and they have very similar color shifts, like going to yellow. This one has a smoother finish. This is a little bit more speckly, like you can kind of see those like flakies in a way, or it's like a large shimmer particle. So I will keep Poison just because I could either, you know, wear it on its own unmagnetized and it just kind of looks like this, or I can magnetize it, you know, it's like more versatile. And now these two, this is OPI's I'm Not Really a Waitress and Olive's Garnet. Oh man, this is so hard. I know it shouldn't be, right? It's like such a silly thing where I'm very conflicted because OPI, I'm Not Really a Waitress, like it's iconic, you know? Oh man, it's so, so beautiful. And then Olive's Garnet, like they just, you know what, these two, I think I will have to kind of do a quick little, I'm pretty sure I've done it before too in like previous comparison videos. They are virtually the same. I don't know how well you can see this, but I would say maybe Olive's Garnet is a little bit lighter and ever so slightly more pink. I think I'm Not Really a Waitress is a truer red, not as pink or berry leaning. Between these two, I mean, I would love to keep Olive because, you know, we always want to support small businesses, but when it comes to the color and my personal preference, I do like OPIs a little bit more. So I am going to keep that one and put all of that in my destash pile. So here are these. Oh yeah, and then these are just the ones that I'm like, yeah, I for sure am keeping those. So I don't think I could whittle it down any more than this. I feel good about keeping these polishes. It's a decent amount. So let me get these out of the way. Let me move these now in frame. Okay, so these are all of my true reds. So, okay, I guess we can start with the ones that I'm like, yes, for sure, I know I want to keep those. Obviously, the Louboutin Rouge one. See, I know I want to keep, yes, Crack's Crimson Ecstasy from the Ethereal collab. Oh my god, it is beautiful. By the way, in regards to this collab, if you're interested in getting it, make sure you wishlist the polishes, you know, that you want on the website, so that way they have an idea of how much to make. What are other ones? Okay, Mooncat's Your Heart's a Black Hole is a magnetic and one of my favorites. Absolutely beautiful. I do also want to get, or keep rather, Cracked Polishes, 23 flavors inspired by Dr. Pepper. Oh, I know for sure Fire Opal from Cirque. This is one of their original facets, which is honestly very similar to Island Pea's Joy. Damn it. I can't open it right now, so I will come back later, but these are almost like identical polishes. I love Island P, but this is like such a special polish. And it's discontinued, so like, you know, I know it can easily like sell in a destash or whatever, but I need to test these out together and kind of like, you know, decide from there, I guess. The Arsonist, easily keeping that one. Island Pea's Penny from the Harvest collection, another easy keep. Mooncat's Pandemonium, I'm gonna destash this. There's something weird about this like tone of red that I just don't think is flattering on me, but I love it on other people. I just don't think it's my red. Very, very similar to Nail Poly's Relationship Goals. Do you kind of see that? Like how I wouldn't consider these like orange. This is more of a, you know, tomatoey orange color, right? But these two, I don't know, there's something about them that's just not my right shade of red. I have Cracked Polishes Eat, Drink, and Be Cherry. Very beautiful. I love this one. I feel like there were some OPI shades. I think like Kiss My Aries or something. It's just like a reddish, shimmery metallic, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I would rather keep the cracked one, and that's why I don't have the OPI one here. Also, definitely keeping Cirque's Lucky Jelly, which is their true jelly red. Then we have Holo Taco's Ruby Madly Deeply. This is very, very pretty, and I want to keep it. Oh my god, so annoying. I want to keep it to complete the birthstones collection because like I'm not even thinking of destashing tanzanite tears, or what is it called, topaz tears, the November birthstone polish, which, you know, I said in my video, it's not my favorite. It's my it's unfortunately my least favorite from the collection. But I feel like this is very similar to like just other reds, like naughty lists, you know. So yeah, as much as I would love to keep it for the sake of, you know, having a complete collection, realistically I just probably am not going to wear it because I'm going to want to wear something else instead. Here is Cirque's red bottoms, or red bottoms. I feel like this is similar to, yeah, like that shade of red where it's just not my favorite. The only one the only one I want to say is Island Peace Poppy, which is from the Splashed collection. And oh, let me see, here's Cirque's Poppy Jelly, which admittedly is a lot more orange leaning, right? But I love Poppy Jelly. I don't know what it is about this. I guess because it's a jelly, I just love it so much more. I feel like this technically isn't too far off from, yeah, Hollow Taco's Jam Session. It's just missing like that pink shimmer. So, I mean, between the two, I would rather keep this one. Yeah, I will keep this for now, but I know that I probably shouldn't, just because I don't, it's just that color, you know, that is not my favorite. Definitely keeping KB Shimmer's Noel It All because it is the like Christmas red reflective, easy. Also, absolutely keeping Hollow Taco's Hot Take. This was like the first, you know, red orange sort of shade where I was like, wait a second, I think I actually like this. So that is gonna stay. These two I think are like the most similar, but they're also very different because, okay, well, first of all, this is Sinful Colors Devil Stare, which I feel like is iconic in its own way. And Mooncats, I'm pretty sure this is Shroomdom from the Lost in a Folktale collection. I cannot believe I have never recognized how similar these are. Yeah, you can kind of see like from the bottle, or the neck of the bottle, I mean, like how sheer that is. Oh my god, yeah, it's like so jelly. I'm not doing a great job at painting, but you know, bear with me. Yeah, Mooncats is more pigmented, it's darker. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna destash the Sinful Colors because I would rather keep the Mooncat. I mean, just as a polish, it's, you know, more pigmented. Yeah, keeping Shroomdom. On the fence about Island Peace Poppy. I'm sorry, I'm gonna move, you know, the ones that I'm keeping down here in a second. I'm just like trying to narrow it down. Okay, so let's separate these into like, you know, specialty finishes and creams again. So the red creams, I have two OPI shades, the Nail Envy in Big Apple Red, and I Love You Just Be Cusco. I am definitely keeping this one. It's from the Peru collection and Ryan is Peruvian, so legally I am required to keep it. I'm just kidding. But I would love wearing this on like our anniversaries and stuff like that, so, you know, I have to keep it, okay? And we have Big Apple Red, which I thought I had another one, but again, it's like I destashed it probably. This is the Nail Envy version though, so part of me still wants to keep this too, but at the same time I have other like true reds. So the Essie is Not Ready for Bed. Then we have Island Peace Cherry and Cracked Polishes Calabrian Pepper. So I definitely do want to keep OPI's Nail Envy because I actually like the Nail Envy formula. I don't find it, you know, is super hardening on my nails or anything. And between these three, I am kind of torn. I would say that Essie's is the brightest or like lightest shade of red, and I think the most similar to Calabrian Pepper, and then Island Peace Cherry is like more of a, you know, true red, I guess. The very honest answer, as to why I like want to keep, you know, one from each is just for like potential opportunities and stuff. Even if, you know, doing like nail art, it's just kind of nicer sometimes to have like all the same brand or whatever. Not that that matters either, you know, like obviously if you have different brands, that's also okay. You can still get noticed by brands and, you know, be commissioned for future work. But yeah, so that's the truthful answer. So, you know, with all that being said, I think I will just keep these three because I just don't know. I just don't know which one I would get rid of. So now we just have the shimmery kind of shades. This one's pretty dark. I probably should have kept it over there, but this is Doctor's Remedy in Giving Garnet. It's basically like my dupe for China Glaze's Ruby Pumps, which, you know, I used to have and then I ran out of it. It's like one of the first polishes I actually went through. I'm gonna keep this one as well. And here I also definitely want to keep Kathleen & Co.'s Lovely Day. It was from like a previous winter Christmas sort of release. Very, very beautiful shade. I feel like just in the bottle, it almost looks similar to Cirque's Firecracker, which was one of their previous Lunar New Year polishes. As you can tell by the silver cap, which, you know, they don't do anymore, but that's how they used to do their do-good polishes. So, and this one is also a magnetic. Very pretty, very fiery. Obviously love the cause, but I feel like this is again one of those, you know, shades of orangey reds that it's just not my favorite. So I will also unfortunately put that in the destash pile. And then these are Island Pea's Ariel and Zoya's Sophia. Between the two, I like Sophia more. Ariel is very pretty, you know, very fitting for summer. In a way, though, yeah, not too different than this shade of red where I'm just like, it's not for me. So, okay, that's fine. Then we have Holo Taco's Red Licorice, which is like their true red linear holo. I feel like it looks so bright and almost like pinky. Like it has like a slight, you know, pink undertone compared to like a truer red like Favorite Sister. Hopefully you can see what I mean. But yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Definitely also gonna keep Lord Vader. Even though I did rank, you know, this collection pretty low, it's still a really cool polish. So I like it. Maybe, you know, I'll destash it in the future if I like don't end up wearing it, but we're not there yet. This OPI Rhinestone Ready, I don't really like it anymore. And then this one, I'm really an actress, which is kind of, you know, the other, like, oh, I'm not really a waitress, I'm really an actress. This one is pretty. I feel like it kind of looks like Kathleen & Co. a little bit though. Obviously missing that gold shimmer, or, you know, if it is there, it's like very subtle. But yeah, I'm keeping the Kathleen & Co. so I can get rid of that OPI. So of the true reds, the ones that I'm keeping, here are the specialty kind of finishes. I guess there's a lot of specialty finishes, so I'll just, you know, keep going with that. And here we get into like some of the creams. Let's put the rest of them up here, and then the Louboutin. So yeah, admittedly, you know, this top row, I shouldn't have this many. Should probably just get rid of these three because I feel like I would rather keep the Nail Envy, the OPI, like, you know, True Red. Maybe I would also keep Island P because it's my favorite brand, and so, you know, I want to have it, right? But I'm more willing to get rid of Essie, and yeah, you know what? Let me just do that. Let me stop making excuses. Let me just do that. And yeah, the only other two that I need to double check are Island P's Joy and Cirque's Fire Opal. Honestly, I might just put Fire Opal in the destash pile. Keep Joy. It's a good rule to have. And yeah, these other ones, I think, you know, are different enough that I can justify keeping. I mean, from this angle, I feel like these polishes look similar. It's Cracks Eat, Drink, and Be Cherry, and Mooncats Your Heart's a Black Hole. But this is magnetic, it has hollow. It's also a little bit of a darker red. This is more like a true metallic-y red. So yeah, this is the best that I can do. Oh, actually, let me get together all the polishes that I'm gonna keep. Okay, so here, even though I know it's a little cut off at the top, this is every single red that I am going to keep in my collection. Now, I know it is still a lot. I will not ignore that. I can definitely acknowledge there's still a lot of reds in here. I mean, even just seeing these right now, the Cracked Polish red and Essie's Spiked in style? No, Spiked with style. I always, you know, get that confused. These two are pretty similar, so I will get rid of the Essie. I would rather keep Cracked. I feel like it's a little bit easier now to like, maybe not narrow it down, but you know, just to see like the potential dupes. But I feel pretty good about this because they're all, you know, pretty different, I would say. But yeah, these are all of them, so at least now they can all fit like, you know, on the screen, whereas before I had like a few other extra polishes off to the side. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be keeping. So now let me move this out of the way and show you the ones that I will be destashing. Not as impressive, but kind of. I mean, this is still a decent amount of polish that I have removed from my collection. Just two the polishes. The first one here is Cirque's Rust Jelly, which I still don't even know if it's red or not. It's like very, very orangey. It's like a true like brick kind of color, I guess. Then we have, let me keep this on camera, Cirque's Firecracker, the magnetic from the previous Lunar New Year. This is Velvet Rope, one of their kind of shimmer polishes. Super beautiful, but very similar to My, which I would rather keep. Hollow Taco's Jam Session. Cute, but not for me. Deborah Lippman's Single Ladies, just a vampy red, which, you know, I've already keeping others, very similar to Hollow Taco's Devil's Advocate. Then we have Lisa from Zoya. Oh, it's such a pretty shade. It's so, so pretty. Like, it kind of has that berry pink undertone, which I think is super beautiful, especially for fall. So, you know, I'm tempted to keep it, but there's others that I'm keeping instead. And then here is Cirque's Sachet, which is metallic, you know, beautiful for nail art, but I have other metallic reds. Island Peace Carry, which I never used. I kind of just bought because it's like, I mean, it's a fan favorite, you know, a cult classic, and it looks beautiful. It does, don't get me wrong, but I have other deeper reds that I would rather wear. Glisten and Glow's Nirvana Unplugged in New York from Polish Pickup a few years ago. Beautiful shade. Olive Ab's Garnet, which I shared recently too in like my best garnet type of polishes, right, for the nails like Topic Tuesday prompt. And that's like another reason that sometimes I do want to keep shades even though like I don't really reach for them. It's like for the name or because I know that they fit like a certain theme for a video. Like it's just so much more satisfying, you know, when I have like a birthstone video to be able to share Olive Ab's Garnet. You know what I mean? Here is Essie's Spiked with Style, which, you know, again, kind of fits in with these dark vampy reds. Probably the most heartbreaking one, Cirque's Fire Opal, because I love their original Facets polishes, but they are, you know, pretty similar to the Island P like finish. I think the main difference is that there are some kind of like actual bar glitters in here, which, you know, bar glitters aren't even my favorite. Then we have Essie's Not Ready for Bed, Classic Red Cream, along with
Cracks Calabrian Pepper because I already have a couple of red creams. OPIs, I'm Really an Actress. Very beautiful, but similar to Kathleen & Co.'s Lovely Day. Rhinestone Ready, also by OPI, which I just don't love this finish anymore. I used to like this polish, which is why I've kept it for so long, because it was from winter a few years ago, but there's something about the finish that I just don't really like anymore. Sinful Colors Devil's Stare, because it just looks like Shroomdom, but more watered down. Hollow Tacos Ruby Madly Deeply, which is another pain, but different because it's like breaking up the birthstones. That's probably like my biggest struggle, is like breaking up collections or rainbows, like, you know, something where it's like just so cohesive or like it's I have, you know, the complete set. It's always hard to let go of that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is, you know, just like I would rather wear Naughty List than this one. Then Cirque's Red Bottoms, it's okay. Mooncat's Pandemonium, I know people are gonna be like, you're crazy for letting go of this one, but it's just not, it's not my red, you know, and that's okay. The nail polys, I have 2 relationship goals with the little chips and salsa on the top. I just want to keep it for the cap. It's so freaking cute. But I mean, to be fair, out of these 2, I do like this one more, but I just still don't really reach for it. There's like other nail polys I would rather wear. And the other one is You Make My Heart Melt, which again is just the color that is not for me. And last but certainly not least, we have Island Peas Aerial, which is another pretty super sparkly shade, like so shiny, very metallic. Kind of similar actually, now that I'm seeing it, but you're probably like, oh, why isn't it here? Is Island Peas Melody, but I kind of would consider Melody like even more orange, but I either already destashed it or it's in my destash pile. I feel like, yeah, Aerial is just like, you know, 2 degrees of difference. So if I already got rid of Melody, I should get rid of Aerial. So yeah, maybe not, you know, the most impressive, but I'm pretty proud. This is a decent amount of polish to end up, you know, taking out of my collection. So that wraps up my first video in my new destash series. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if it was a little bit scuffed. I obviously have very like limited equipment that I'm using, so hopefully this format works for you all, because it's just kind of what works best for me, at least when it comes to like recording and just like the process of pulling out the polishes, sorting them in their different sort of like color groups, and then going through each one and, you know, picking out the ones that are like immediate keeps and ones that, you know, I just don't want anymore. This destash series be like at least on a monthly basis, at least when it comes to like the initial rainbow portion, which is what I'm starting today. But with destashing, it's just gonna be kind of like, I don't want to say a lifelong process, but it's something that I have been doing for years, where, you know, as much polish that I get in, I just need to get rid of some of it and like pass it along, because it is just so unsustainable to keep every single thing. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any feedback that I can try to incorporate for the next video, or just let me know any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!